So I literally just got home and finished watching this movie. And the whole time watching it, I just kept saying, this movie is Christian propaganda. But I still kind of liked it. And welcome to my safe haven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, thank you so much. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek and I always say the things that I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic. So I like to review fantasy, horror movie, sci-fi, and of course black representation and queer representation or any variation of the four. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm and getting this video out there and my channel out there so I can continue to grow my channel. Now that is all out the way, like I said in the intro, I just got home from seeing Exorcist the Believer, which is, I believe, the 6th installment in the Exorcist franchise and a direct sequel to the original 1975, whatever the year the original Exorcist came out with Linda Blair. This movie is a direct sequel to that. And it is directed by David Gordon Green, who did the new Halloween movies. I like the first Halloween. I didn't like Halloween Kills. I didn't like Halloween Ends. Both of them were trash. But the synopsis for The Exorcist Believer is, when his daughter Angela and her friend Catherine show signs of demonic possession, it unleashes a chain of events that forces single father Victor Fielding to confront the nadir of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before. And the movie is starring, and the main protagonist is Tony Award-winning Leslie Odom Jr., who most people know as Aaron Burr from Hamilton. It also sees the return of Ellen Burstyn, who played Chris McNeil from the original, again, I think it's 1975, Exorcist. And yeah, overall, this review is not gonna be that long because truth of the matter is, you've seen one Exorcist type of movie, you've seen them all. They're all pretty much the same. You start off with a normal family living their normal everyday life. Something happens, the person gets possessed, they're trying to figure out what's going on, they find a priest, the priest does an exorcist, the movie ends. That's exactly what happened in this movie, plot to plot. There was no spoilers, there's no surprises, nothing like that. But the thing that made this movie interesting for me and the thing that kept me invested was Leslie Odom Jr., his performance, his acting, his character. I really enjoyed his role in this movie. And not only just that, but the thing about this movie, because I did mention in the very beginning of my review, this movie was nothing but Christian propaganda. Like, it was all about, you know, God and Jesus and the Lord and the work of the devil and giving Christian messages and things like that, that you see time and time and time again with these types of movies. But the thing that this movie also did that was interesting, that also kept me invested and that made it different than a lot of these other Exorcist movies, is they also injected hoodoo and African-American mythology and root work and things like that in this movie as well. And it also played a key factor in the exorcism that happened in this movie, which is something that's very different. A lot of times in movies, especially when it comes to black religion and things like that, they always play it as being evil and not being of God and being of good, but they did that in this movie. And so for me, that was the biggest surprise and the biggest welcome surprise that they interjected in this exorcism narrative. And of course, with that, you know, said, most importantly, like the fact that you had Leslie Odom Jr. and his daughter, a black daughter, being the center of the story. And it's not, if you saw the trailer, they're not the only main characters, because the difference between this Exorcist movie and a lot of other exorcism movies is really they only possess one person, one child. But in this movie, it's two children that are possessed. Leslie Odom Jr.'s child, a black girl, and then a little white girl. So there's two friends, there's two daughters that are possessed, and so there's two stories that are being told. But for the most part, the main focus is on Leslie Odom Jr. and his daughter and his storyline. And so that was also interesting as well, to see it not just be one person that's possessed, but it to be two children that are possessed this time. and the way, you know, that played out, it was interesting. But like I said, for the most part, you've seen one Exorcism movie, you've seen them all, but the things that they did with this movie were interesting and different enough that it kept me somewhat interested. So yeah, so honestly, I would say because of the differences, this movie is worth seeing, because there's enough differences in here that you don't really get to see in these types of movies, especially when it comes to black and brown representation in horror, sci-fi, fantasy. And I'm really loving this trend that's popping up with seeing more and more black people show up in sci-fi, fantasy, horror, etc. Because time and time again, we're often left out of these stories, especially as the lead characters. And we're finally getting to tell these types of stories because black people have always loved horror, sci-fi, fantasy, etc. And we never really got to see ourselves as the center of the narrative. So yeah, so because of that, I thought Exorcist was interesting. Was it the best horror movie or the greatest movie of all time? No, but it was cute. It was interesting. I had a good time. I didn't leave the theater bored. Was it predictable? Yes, but it was interesting. So with that said, I would say Exorcist the Believer was decent enough. It was a good time. So yeah, I did say this video is not going to be that long. It's not much to say about it, but I had an interesting enough time. But with that said, have you guys seen Exorcist the Believer? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you can, hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out with the YouTube algorithm. This is one of your first time checking out one of my videos. Please check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.